Hey, what up everybody? This is Stevie Breach coming to you with continuous coverage of the nWo taking over WCW back in 1996. On the WWE Network, I just watched Halloween Havoc, a great show live from Las Vegas, Nevada at the MGM Grand Arena, making WCW look like a real major league wrestling company. I mean, this was an awesome show, awesome look. Everything about this was great except for the main event. The main event was flat, but in classic WCW fashion, an awesome undercard. If you're going to start out a pay-per-view, there's no other way to do it other than Dean Malenko wrestling Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight Championship. This was an awesome match built around Dean Malenko beating Rey Mysterio for the Cruiserweight belt, stealing his mask, and them just going out and doing what they got to do. I mean, there was a part of this match where Rey Mysterio switched his mask out because he was... he wanted his mask back, I guess, pretty much. But they had an awesome wrestling match. I mean, WCW was classic for having these sort of luchador sort of guys go out there and just steal the show and just put you in your place. Like, all right, we're gonna watch some wrestling here on this Sunday night. This is gonna be some awesome stuff here. There's so many of these matches. If you go through the best of pay-per-view matches from WCW that just recently came out, a lot of matches are just like this. Next match was Diamond Dallas Page fighting Eddie Guerrero. Of course, this was over the Battle Bowl ring that WCW made famous, and there's no other way to look at this match other than knowing that these guys really hate each other, and they were going out there to kick each other's ass. That is what it's all about. DDP was able to get the win over Eddie Guerrero. He was very happy to get his ring back in the end. It was a pretty cool way to get used to both of these characters there for you. In the next match, it was the Giant taking on Jeff Jarrett. The nWo had set up a sort of their own entrance throughout the crowd. It was pretty funny to see them basically just take place out in the middle of the crowd, because the crowd was welcoming them as basically baby faces. I know that now that WCW was in Las Vegas, they were out of their element, out of the Horseman country, but everybody wanted to be a part of the nWo, and that was probably a little bit of a mistake. But you had DiBiase doing their own entrances out there with Virgil. They would come out there and they would do a pre-match interview right there in the crowd. A very cool look. Jeff Jarrett was filling in for Ric Flair, who was injured at this time. The Giant had injured him and stole his U.S. Championship. He was in possession of the belt the whole time throughout the show, but never really called or treated as the U.S. champion. The Giant and Jeff Jarrett wrestled around until Ric Flair, who was at ringside in Jeff Jarrett's corner when Jarrett was sort of pretending to be a member of the Horsemen, and Flair just low blow the Giant, hit him right in the nuts, got the disqualification. I don't know if it was just jealousy, trying to make sure Jeff Jarrett didn't get to become the U.S. belt, or just Flair shot a shot, so he took it. But the only stupid thing was that once the match was over and the Giant was laid out holding his nuts, Flair didn't grab the belt and walk off with it. He just sort of, just took off to the back with Jarrett, calling the end of the day. Next match was a lot of heat in this match. Really good. Lex Luger wrestled Arn Anderson. This was a match over the last pay-per-view, War Games. Lex Luger had submitted basically when he was held in the Scorpion Sting lock by Fake Sting, and Hogan was holding his head, and Anderson was basically saying that he shouldn't have thrown in the towel and he shouldn't have quit, so he was just basically calling Lex Luger a pussy. So Luger beat the fuck out of Anderson and then held him up in the torture rack, basically making him tap out, and then once it was all over, didn't really let him go, which made him get stretchered out. Flair was pissed about this, and then the Four Horsemen had to go out there. Mongo McMichael and Chris Benoit had to wrestle their own tag team match after this against the Faces of Fear. And after they won the match, they were attacked by the Faces of Fear and the Dungeon of Doom, basically laying them out, putting them in their place. In the next match was the Outsiders, winning the WCW Tag Titles for the first time after Nash attacked Booker T and Stevie Ray with Colonel Ray Parker's own cane. Basically took him out. Right there behind the referee's back, and just the nWo wrestled this basically as baby faces. It's pretty funny, pretty crazy stuff. In the next match, in WCW's fashion, a lot of the Halloween Havocs that were brought to you by Slim Jim had Macho Man Randy Savage wrestling in the main event. In this match, he drove his own monster truck to the ring that he gave away in a raffle. Classic WCW, giving away a monster truck. Let's say you won that monster truck. What are you going to do with it? Halloween Hogan was living up the Hollywood gimmick. He was just finishing up a movie with 3 ninjas. He had a movie coming out, Santa with Muscles. They were playing up on that. He was wearing a wig. They gave him sort of like a flat top spiky do, and some sunglasses. Basically, he tried to wrestle in that, and Savage took it away, even putting it on a la like Hogan and Kurt Angle in 2002 in WWE. The nWo laid out Randy Savage, of course. Hogan got the win. Not only did that close out the show, but Roddy Piper made his surprise WCW debut, coming down to the ring, challenging Hulk Hogan for the big Starrcade event, saying that he wanted to take the title from Hulk Hogan. Next pay-per-view is going to be World War III. I'm having a lot of fun watching these, just wishing that the main events would have been better. Make sure you check out this show on the WWE Network and let me know what you guys are watching out there.